Tonight on KGW News, nearly 50 homes now counted among the wildfire destruction in the gorge.
Unfortunately, this is the worst incident I've seen in 23 and a half years.
As a tiny survivor is rescued among the rubble. Plus, we're hearing from the only person that lived through the Air India plane crash.
I can't explain. It's miracle, everything.
And many are preparing for mass protests as more ICE arrests hit close to home.
Everybody loves him and he has a lot of family around here too.
Then later, they've done it again.
The Beavers walk it off!
The Beavers' impressive comeback as they refuse to give up a World Series win. And we begin with breaking news of a police shooting in Gresham. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green in tonight for David. Now, this all started around 7:20 tonight when Gresham police responded to a disturbance with a weapon call near Northeast Gleason and 165th Avenue. The details are limited so far, but police say officers ended up shooting and injuring a suspect who was taken to the hospital. No word on their condition. One neighbor said he heard about 7 gunshots before going outside and seeing the suspect hurt.
Basically saw that they had someone apprehended after they had shot them, and they were detaining them, started doing compressions.
Police say there is no ongoing threat to the community. We'll update you as we learn more. And now to the gorge where the Rowena fire is still burning as officials get a better idea of the damage. Tonight, crews had a meeting with community members letting them know that 49 homes have been lost in the flames. The Rowena fire is burning between Mosier and the Dalles with all levels of evacuations, including level 3 go now, still in place for thousands of homes. We have team coverage tonight. Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino is in with an update on the weather conditions. But first, Alma McCarty spoke to those impacted by the fire. She's live in the Dalles. Alma.
Yeah, China, here at the Dalles High School, dozens of people packed the auditorium to get the latest information about the Rowena fire. Now, at last check from officials late this evening, we know that the fire, while 3,800 acres in size, is now 5% contained. Flames and embers, smoky skies, 3,800 acres burned, and nearly 50 homes in ruins.
On Highway 14, across from our house, was when it looked like an atom bomb.
One of those homes belonging to Patrick and Susan Hollander. The fire pit, they say, was the only thing still standing.
So I went in yesterday morning before they put up the roadblock, and you can't imagine, this is what I own. Right here.
When the fire broke out, they were over in Portland, picking up their daughter from the airport. They called on family locally to save their dogs.
And they would not let them in to rescue our three Dachshunds. We don't have them anymore. We lost everything.
This reality bringing the couple and the community to the high school's auditorium for the latest on the Rowena fire.
What your firefighters did was, nothing short of like heroic work for 20 straight hours.
We're going to rebuild, and we're going to do what everybody does here in Wasco County, and we're going to get our jobs done, and we're going to come together to do it.
Fire officials mapping out the fire lines and explaining the current situation with the crews. As of Friday, more than 450 firefighters strong.
Although many structures were lost, exponentially more were saved, which is incredible.
For those with a home still standing, like Deborah Cable, the feelings are bittersweet.
We are really, really, really lucky. We know how lucky we are. And we're so devastated that our neighbors lost so much.
She, like so many, sticking by this community during traumatic and trying times.
We are all in this together. As my sister always says, same body of water, different ships, but we're in it together.
Now, the Oregon Department of Forestry, they are asking anyone who may have information about the origins or how this fire started to come forward with that, to reach out to them. That could be anybody who is traveling or was traveling on I-84 or who lives in the Rowena area, was in the Rowena area on June 11th. That was back on Wednesday. We've got information on KGW.com on how to get in touch with those ODF investigators. China, back to you.
Alma McCartney live from the Dalles this evening. All right, let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino with a look at the weather conditions in the fire area. Matt?
Hey, China, the good news is the winds are beginning to back off. Here's our live camera in the Dalles on the Oregon Veterans Home looking out towards the Rowena fire. Unlike the last 2 nights, I haven't been able to detect or see any flames or burning areas, so that's a good sign too. And this is good as well. The winds are still strong, but they're down below 30 miles an hour for the first time really all evening. The gusts, look at the peak gusts we had today. The Dalles peaked at 43. That's the strongest of the week. Rowena had a gust of 33, very close to the fire. Lyle on the other side of the river over 40. Tom McCall Preserve up at elevation above Mosier also 40 miles an hour. So it's been wickedly windy out there for the last 3 days, as you know. But look, here's our hour-by-hour wind forecast from 2 a.m. through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. And the gusts are all down in the teens. That's a major improvement from the last couple of nights. If we carry this out of the afternoon, the windiest part of the day, yeah, the hour-by-hour shows the winds coming back up, but they're all staying below 25 miles an hour, not the 35 to 40 mile an hour gusts that we've been seeing today. Let's look at this another way with the mapping here. You see the winds here getting down even below 10 miles an hour for several hours in the morning before they come back up with the heating of the day. Now, the other thing that's a good indication that the fire isn't as hot as it was, maybe just doesn't have enough fuel, but our smoke forecast is not producing nearly as much smoke, and we saw that with our sky cams today as well. So the forecast looks like this. The winds are diminishing now. Tomorrow, lighter winds, still some gusts of 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. That's not great, but at least it's going in the right direction. Sunday is a lot better. Light winds, China, only about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so hopefully the crews can be assisted by the improving weather conditions. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. And stay with KGW as we monitor the wildfire conditions in the gorge and beyond. And coming up in less than 10 minutes, we'll show you the kitten found among the burned out homes. And happening right now in Yamhill County, a 3-alarm fire is putting up a ton of smoke. This is in the Carlton area near Old McMinnville Highway and Gun Club Road. Firefighters say they expect to be shuttling water tenders back and forth to the site throughout the night, and they're asking people to avoid the area. Developing tonight, Washington County deputies are looking for a man they say sexually assaulted a Beaverton woman in her own home. They say she didn't know her attacker, but she did know a man they arrested who they believe is connected to the attack. He allegedly threatened the woman, but deputies say he was not the one who attacked her.
There's no perfect ending to this story because the victim has experienced a tremendous amount of trauma. But if we can get the community to come forward with tips that lead us to apprehend the suspect, that's going to give us some justice.
The assault happened just before 11 Monday night near Brittle Hills Drive and 161st. The sheriff's office is asking anyone who might have caught the attacker on home surveillance or dash cam to give them a call. The only description, a man in dark clothing. Looking ahead to tomorrow, protests are planned in cities across the country with groups speaking out about many Trump administration policies. The so-called No Kings rallies coincides with a military parade in Washington, D.C. and President Donald Trump's 79th birthday. The largest gathering in the Portland metro area is expected to be at Tom McCall Waterfront Park from noon to 4. Other rallies are scheduled throughout the day in locations like Beaverton, Gresham, and Vancouver. Meanwhile, protests pushing back against ICE arrests continue. Some in Portland today were specifically outraged about a man picked up by ICE in Newburgh. His daughter posted a video on Facebook.
He was on his way to work when he was taken. My dad is not a criminal.
According to family and friends, Moses Sotelo was arrested yesterday morning and taken to the ICE facility in Portland. He owns a vineyard management company, and friends say that he's well respected among those in the Yamhill County wine industry. His daughter said that while his family had talked about what to do if something like this happened, she was still shocked.
Unfortunately, when your parents apparently just want to give you the best life that you can have, they get persecuted for it.
We have requested information from ICE on Sotelo's immigration status and where his case stands now. We'll let you know when we have that update. And now to an update from the Middle East, where Iran retaliated today after Israel launched attacks on Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure. Iran fired waves of ballistic missiles towards Israel, with at least one striking near homes and killing 2 people. Israel claims yesterday's attacks was necessary to keep Iran from getting closer to building an atomic weapon. Top general and scientists were among the 78 people reported killed in Iran. And new tonight, the lone survivor of a horrific plane crash in India that left 241 dead says he can't explain how he survived when no one else did. This comes as investigators have already recovered what could be critical evidence to determine why the Boeing 787 went down. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
Staying in India. In the hospital in Ahmedabad, the lone survivor who walked away from Thursday's Air India disaster tells Indian TV he has no idea why he's the only one of 242 who got out alive.
Emergency door is broken. My seat is broken. I'm not jumping. I just walk out in it. I can't explain. It's miracle, everything.
Vishwash Kumar Ramesh said he was in window seat 11A, right next to the broken exit door, yet managed to climb through. But everyone else died, including a British radiologist and his family who took this selfie. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed into the local medical school's residence hall, killing roughly 30 on the ground.
All of us at Air India are devastated by this loss and grieve for those affected.
Already, Indian investigators say they've recovered critical evidence, a DVR with recordings from onboard cameras which may have captured the pilot's actions on the flight deck, and the plane's black box, the cockpit voice and flight data recorders. Former FAA and NTSB investigator Jeff Guzzetti.
The flight data recorder will record what in particular that we want to know?
The flight data recorder will record hundreds of parameters, one sample every second, on the position of the flaps, the slats, the ailerons, the engine thrust levers, the temperature, the altitude.
Indian authorities have ordered Air India to inspect all of its 787s with GE engines, standard after most aviation incidents.
That was Tom Costello reporting. Specialists from the NTSB are also expected to be in India within the next few days to help in the investigation.